Mastering an authentic British accent might seem a little bit difficult and a little bit kind of overwhelming at the same time. But what if I told you that by focusing on just handful sounds, really fundamental sounds, you will instantly make a huge progress and you sound more British? So in this video, I'll break down 7 key pronunciation points. These are the fundamental points that you need to define what accent that you might want to learn. But I would highly suggest that a modern RP, which stands for receipt pronunciation. This is the accent a lot of people at the moment, the modern RP pronunciation, you find it in South of England and also BBC English or even Queen's English. While a modern RP, it doesn't have a specific geographical area. And I'll also give you an easy words and kind of sentences to practice, and you can transform your accent quickly. So let's get started. If you like the content that I'm creating, please consider that you subscribe to the channel and also click the bell so you don't miss any weekly videos. Now, these points, these fundamental sounds are, first of all, we have got the long O sounds. This is the vowel sounds. For example, in words like hello, hello, open, open, hero, hero. Let's say, for example, you can't say hello or something like that. You can say hello, 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 open, open. Well, what's happening here? This is like kind of the schwa sounds and the O sound, the round shape. 2 vowels happens together. This is what we would call a diphthong. So a modern RP pronunciation, the first things that you notice a modern RP pronunciation that is that O sound. Sound isn't simple. I think this is the combination of 2 vowel sounds. And of course, if you want to learn it, you just have to practice fundamental sounds and kind of words. But I gave you a little bit of words to practice. For example, we say hello, 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 hello. Now, if you listen to the differences between American pronunciation and British pronunciation, people might say hello or something like that. I don't know how to say it to American pronunciation. Whether in RP, you're more likely to hear hello, 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 hello. So you can hear that a little W appears at the end, right? Hello, hello. So like it's for like the lips move at the end. That's the key actually. And I think the common mistakes, people say hello is too quickly, okay? You need to rhyme, you need to kind of intonation, okay? Hello, hello. For example, I might say, hello, let me open the door. Hello, let me open the door for you. Hello, hello, hello. So it's just practicing a lot of different words. For example, you might say course, course. This is also the O sound, course. Daughter, daughter. This is my daughter. This is her daughter. This is his daughter. So a daughter, which is like American tend to say daughter. I don't know. Following with the second step is, of course, the long R sound. For example, now we have got words like tomato. Yeah, tomato. American tend to say tomato, tomato, grass, bath, bath, father, father. Well, it's actually a big giveaway that someone isn't using the RP, but here's how to pronounce it. R sound, okay? Imagine like going to the dentist and opening your mouth, something like that. Where American pronunciation, they tend to kind of to replace it with a short R sound, which is quite segregation between American and British pronunciation. Within RP is quite longer version R sounds, okay? I think this is a fundamental sounds, of course, to master at the same time. And I think the more you practice, the better you will get there. Okay, the more you practice, the better and the more fluent you will become. Now, listen and repeat after me: tomato or tomato, tomato, bath, bath, father, father, grass, grass. Now try it out yourself and repeat it multiple times. So I think that's really fundamental. And I think the common mistakes is instead of using the long R, people tend to replace it with the American tomato or tomato. Tomato, tomato. It's important that you practice all of these all together. And I want to talk about as well silent R. Well, the silent R, which happens quite a lot, we tend to replace it with the schwa sounds. Example words like rather, teacher, mirror, okay? Another thing that makes RP sound elegant is that we don't pronounce the letter R at the end of a word unless it's followed by a vowel letter or vowel word. Let's say, for example, in a word like rather, for example, it sounds like rather. Water and even daughter, father, mother, brother, sister. If you've noticed, I don't pronounce the letter R because it doesn't follow by a vowel. So, unless it's followed by a vowel, okay? So, this is because we soften the letter R and it's often replaced with a schwa, okay? The most common vowel sounds in British English. It happened twice, happened quite a lot, and I think it's about 40 to 30%. And I would say overpronouncing the final R, this is a common mistake. You have to practice if you want to learn British accent, you want to have British accent, you want to avoid pronouncing your R's, okay? You have to master it. It's essential and simple as that. Also, the short, rounded O sounds, example in a words like honest, honest, hot, hot, pot. In RP, the letter O sound, this is a short O sound. Americans tend to replace it with an R sound, heart, part, not, something like that. But in words like hot, pot, stop, short. And I think rounded your lips from this small round shape. Honest, honest, hot, hot, stop, stop, pot, pot, not. So these are the fundamental sounds. And I think the deeper O sounds. Example in words like water, daughter, thought, thought. O sound, this is, I think, the longer O sound. Water, daughter, and thought. Well, this sound is deeper and rounder in RP, but in many other accents, listen carefully because American they tend to say daru and whatever they pronounce it. I think they tend to replace it. But British pronunciation with the O sounds. Daughter, thought, water. Well, so I think that's really fundamental. And also I want to talk about the pronunciation of your T's. So now the letter T is very fundamental, and I think a lot of people they ignore it. But in British English, if you've noticed, I pronounce the letter kind of T in that words. For example, we say daughter, water, and even bottle and better. So if you've noticed, I pronounce the letter T quite intensely, however, but if you just replace it, you will stay in the same place. And one of the biggest differences between RP and other accents that they replace the letter T. And finally, I just want to talk about glottalization. A glottalization is when you're dropping the letter T. For example, water becomes water, bottle becomes bottle, and better becomes better. So I think this is a Cockney accent, and if you want to learn it, just go for it as well. But if you want to sound a little bit more a modern RP speaker, you want to pronounce your T's. Practice a sentence. A bottle of water, please. Can I have a bottle of water, please? Or a bottle of water, please. That's really fundamental. These are the 7 steps. I think that if you want to implement 7 points to learn British accent, and there you have it. And these are the 7 pronunciation tricks that will help you to sound more British in no time. Now, if you want to take your British accent, British pronunciation further, and you want to to sound a little bit more confident when you're having conversations, please make sure that you implement these strategies, and these points will help you to sound more British at the same time. So that's all about it. There you have it. So if you like what you saw today, you enjoyed this video, please give the video a thumbs up, and also click the bell so you don't miss any weekly videos. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care everyone. Bye bye. See you later.